Good morning. I'm Pastor Corby Johnson, and it is my pleasure to bring to you a devotion in the Proverbs. Today is Monday, November 22nd, 2021, and we're going to be in Proverbs 28. 28. A ruler who oppresses the poor is a beating rain that leaves no food. A ruler who oppresses the poor is a beating rain that leaves no food. Well, that sure brings up a word picture, doesn't it? A beating rain. Well, have you ever been in a rainstorm that came down in torrents and beat the leaves off of the bushes and the grain off the stalks and took the rich soil down the hill into a ditch, whisking away everything in its path? It's devastating. Now, maybe you haven't been in that personally, but you've seen footage of flooding and devastation on the television or in a movie. So I'd like to invite you to do just that. Take a look at some pictures of flooding and of devastation after the flood. Talk to or listen to witnesses that have been involved in that severe flooding. When I was a girl in Scottsdale, Arizona, we didn't have flood control in place. And where you think of Arizona as being very dry, we had a monsoon season, a flooding season. And we didn't have any flood control in our area until probably the 80s, when they made the Big Bend wash into parks and ponds and walkways and just a beautiful place to be. But when I was a girl and we didn't have that green space for flood control, the water would rush down our street and our driveway was just gently sloped toward the house. The water would come rushing toward the house, and we'd open the back gate, and we'd open the back gate to the alleyway, and the water would rush right through and take dirt and bring silt all over into our yard. We wouldn't see all of the damage that this flood had given to us until everything was over, until the water stopped falling from the sky and until the water started to dry up and recede, and then we would see the devastation the water left in its path, with uprooted bushes and leaves and debris all over the place, and a thick layer of silty mud on everything. When you think about this type of happening and what this scripture says, it's like a ruler that is not taking care of the people. It's devastation that ruler leaves in his path or her path. The ruler is put in place to take care of everyone and everything in the realm that they are cared for. But the purpose of having this realm is to take care of everyone in it, not just to take care of yourself. I can't imagine a ruler that would be concerned with only taking care of him or herself. I'd like you to think today about what kinds of things you need to reconsider in your life. What kind of care has God put in your place, and how are you doing with that care? Is the way you're living your life leaving a trail behind you of devastation, or is it leaving behind you fruitful and joyful people and places and things? What are you holding on to too tightly that is affecting your friends and your family or your employees or your neighbors around you? As you think about these things today, I'd like you to think about you being that ruler. Are you a ruler who's oppressing the people around you like a beating rain that leaves no food? Or are you the ruler that is uplifting and kind and feeding all around you, whether it's food to eat or food for the soul? God's blessings, and I'll see you tomorrow.